rising podcast personalities, with their level of beauty and charm matched only by the size of their mouths. This morning, will they single out and be voluntarily kidnapped by this bad boy from the Texarkana area, this swole flyer from the mountains of Washington, this jaywalking cryptid of the Adirondacks, or this fragrant beast from their home state of Florida? Which one would you? From Too Close to Home, it's the special edition Bigfoot dating game, and here are your hosts and contestants, Jen and Becky.
Oh, I'm so excited to be on this.
That was awesome. That's why we keep you around, Jimmy. Right there.
You were not expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't. Beautifully written, beautifully spoken.
We know that how much we love Bigfoot's bad boy brother. And we and Jimmy were thinking about something to end the season lighthearted and would really encapsulate what we are as a podcast.
And who we are as people.
And that would be all the Bigfoots. And then I was like, what if we made it like a dating game? And I was like, although that feels a little bit like a furry or bestiality situation. So I don't know how to feel about this, but we're going to give it a shot.
Stop acting like if you were in the woods camping and Sasquatch came up with some flowers from the top of the mountain and he started sweet talking you that you wouldn't fall for it.
Girl, you know.
Stop acting like you wouldn't.
All right. You're right. Like I said, this is our season finale, you guys. So let's go ahead and dive in with our sources. As previously stated, though, this is Jen.
This is Becky.
And this is Too Close to Home.
Welcome.
Our sources, it's Wikipedia, Bigfoot Nation, Southwest Arkansas Today, Texarkana Gazette, Portland Ghost, Washington Bigfoot. This feels like a, what was that game we'd play as kids? And Mad Libs. Everyone is all 2 words, Mad Libs. Washington Bigfoot, Cryptids Fandom, Adirondack.net, Times Union, Daily Gazette, Smithsonian Magazine, This Florida Skunk Ape, A Complete History, and what? K1047?
Whatever. I'm just here to tell jokes.
Just here. Me too. Okay. All right. Let's talk about our first Bigfoot.
Our first eligible bachelor?
Yeah, our first eligible bachelor.
Cryptid number 1 stands 7 feet tall, is a swift runner, and would wear a size 27 shoe if he wasn't barefoot. He is seemingly impervious to bullets, and even inspired a docudrama horror film titled The Legend of Boggy Creek. From Folk, Arkansas, it's the Folk Monster.
And it is spelled F-O-U-C, no, F-O, I really wanted to do the U-C-K. F-O-U-K-E. So it looks like it's supposed to be like Falk, but it's Folk. It's also known as the Boggy Creek Monster and the Swamp Stalker. The Folk Monster is an ape-like creature which has been sighted around the time of, you guessed it, Folk, Arkansas, since the early 1900s. The folklore might be older than that, though, with publications in the 1850s describing a large, hairy creature in the region. Are they sure it wasn't just like a mountain man, though?
I was just about to say, are they sure it's not just Tom in the trailer up in the mountains?
I've been to the Ozarks, okay? I've seen a hairy man
been
or
there,
two.
done that, seen it.
I seen it. And I will be seeing it again in February. Hint, hint. It is a large bipedal creature with long, dark hair, a bad odor, and red eyes the size of silver dollars and over 1.5 inches in diameter. Some big old eyeballs.
Something's
also, you
1.5
smoking weed?
inches in diameter.
You smoking
Boing,
weed, Folk
boing.
Monster? Y'all see the bloodshot eyes? Smoking the devil's lettuce. I'm sorry. I would too if I was a Bigfoot.
He might just be tired. I was looking at myself in the mirror at work last night and I was like, I look like I've been chiefing because my eyes are lying. But that's exhaustion.
It's called adulthood and it's really, really ghetto. Would not recommend.
No. He might just be exhausted from running from all these fine ladies chasing him.
It's hard. He's out here just fighting for his life.
Yeah.
In 1955, a 14-year-old boy caught sight of the supposed creature and described it as a auburn-colored hair.
He's like a redhead.
He's a redhead trying to catch a scent and not having any reaction when fired upon with a shotgun using birdshot. And if you don't, bruh. Listen, I'm not been shot by a birdshot.
But 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah. Doesn't sound enjoyable. What was that politician that got shot by a president? Birdshot. He was shot by George Bush or something.
I have been shot by a BB gun, and I would imagine birdshot's like getting shot by
a BB gun times 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how was that for you?
I would say 5 out of 10. I recommend at least once in life, but not twice.
Once, don't do it again, though.
Did you really experience childhood if you weren't shot by one? No, you did not.
I guess I did not then.
Then sorry for you.
Now, what we did do is my dad had a whole bunch of junk. He likes to hoard things. And we got 3-wheel caster wheels, like you would put on something that you would carry an appliance, like big black plastic wheels, a piece of plywood, and a rope. Now, I grew up in a city. We would run down our city block, like 3 of us, and then just yank that fucking rope. And the other person would be on that plywood, no way to steer, going through stop signs. How did we not die? I don't know.
That sounds equal to the
BB gun.
Yeah, so okay, you're all right.
I guess there's like a country version, and then there's like city kids.
Yeah.
We're both trying to die.
Yes. Because I guarantee you didn't have helmets or anything on.
No. So there is a noted skeptic, Joe Nickel, in his 2015 Bigfoot Roundup article. If you were wondering, there is one. In Skeptical Inquirer magazine, again, definitely need to see this, says that the description matched that of a misidentified black bear. He's one of those types that makes a career out of debunking shit and just being a buzzkill.
Ugh.
Gotta ruin my life. It's my dreams, man.
Right?
Can I have this?
Can I just have some fun? Fun police.
I have to pay taxes and shit, and you're gonna deny me this?
He's the fun police.
How
comes around and
dare
ruins
you.
it all.
Audacity. It's on sale.
Apparently, clearance.
The folk monster was believed to have been to have attacked the home of Bobby and Elizabeth Ford in May of 1971. I don't know if they're relations to the Ford family, but I would get some kickbacks.
I'll take a free card. Thank you.
The creature, initially mistaken for a bear, go figure, busted through a screen window and was scared away by Bobby and his brother Don. Okay, but it's in Arkansas. It can't be just one name words. Like you have to be like Jimmy Don, Bobby Joe.
So my grandparents live in the mountains up in Oregon, and there was a deck on their house, and there were claw marks on it, and my grandpa said it was when a bear tried to get into the house. I'm starting to wonder if maybe it was really Sasquatch.
Also, how are they still living there and not fucking terrified? How do you know it's a bear and not some fucking cryptid out there wanting to eat your innards?
Well, my grandpa wasn't really one to believe in cryptids, so...
Okay, well, he didn't sound like he was very fun. He's probably like this guy.
He would have told me I was a dumbass if I said it was Sasquatch. 10 out of 10.
Grandpas will keep it real.
100%.
Keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? So multiple shots were fired at the creature, but there was no blood trail to be found. In fact, an extensive search of the surrounding area only turned up 3 toed footprints near the house and superficial damage to the house exterior. And then the creature was allegedly sighted again only 3 weeks later within the vicinity of U.S. Highway 71. 1 month following the Ford attack, archaeologist Frank Schambach.
Okay, sounds right.
Jimmy's not yelling at me. Oh, he just shrugged. I felt like that was very German. Anyways, determined in his professional and totally uncool opinion that there was a 99% chance that the tracks were man-made and a hoax. Okay, but what about that 1%?
Thank you.
Okay, I like to bet against the odds.
Well, and Sasquatches are endangered.
Exactly.
That's why you can't see them. There's not a lot of them left.
See, solving problems right
exactly.
here. A fucking detective. Watch out,
you.
Columbo.
Thank you.
Over the months, there were many additional sightings. It was during this time that the best known footprints were discovered in a soybean field owned by Willie Smith. Apparently, the folk monster is into bougie diet stuff. Bourgeois.
Who's he trying to make hummus? Isn't hummus from soybeans?
No, that's from
chickpeas. Never mind. Carry on.
Garbanzo beans? Fuck. Chickpeas. That's what you just said. I'm deaf and dumb. The footprints were examined by Game Warden Carl Galen and Sheriff Leslie Greer, and they could not determine what created them, only noting that it once again a 3-toed print. So maybe a dinosaur?
Maybe.
I mean, they said dinosaurs were covered in feathers and stuff, so maybe they're confusing them. I don't want to live in a world that there is not a possibility of something being either Bigfoot or a dinosaur.
I don't either.
Call me old-fashioned.
My absolute favorite movie is the Jurassic Park series. I'm obsessed with it. That was the Christmas ornament I got this year, blue. Yes.
You know what? I got a Bigfoot ornament this year.
See?
Now we're gonna have to. We're gonna post that on social, you guys. Don't worry.
Yes. Not a world I want to live in if those two are not possibilities.
Exactly. Count us in. And the tinfoil. Bring it too.
That's why I put tinsel on my tree.
Exactly. Just really sinks in those radio waves.
Blocks me from chemtrails.
So Willie Smith, not to be confused with Will Smith, made souvenirs of the footprint mold and sold them to enthusiasts, a.k.a. me and Becky.
That is what it's called, not missing a marketing opportunity.
You know what? Help me help you. We're going to do this together. We're going to make all your money for you.
Exactly.
Interest began to wane until the release of The Legend of Boggy Creek in 1972. It was pretty popular, becoming the 11th highest grossing film of 1972.
Stop.
It has since earned a cult following. Two things okay, first of all, this is the best sentence for us. 11th highest grossing film of 1972. One, already dead. Cult following, we love cults.
Yeah.
Due to nationwide attention, the small town fully embraced the legend, and the matter of its existence continues to attract questions and visitors to this day. Never miss a marketing opportunity.
Exactly.
Make it work for you. A lot of residents have seen the folk monster since then, with some of them even being credible witnesses. Some. Not all.
Of course, not all.
Boozy Joe that hangs around town, maybe not so much. I'm going to lead you to put down the Rumplements.
Weirdo Jen and Beck, totally believable.
Totally. Do we not look credible? I'm looking at you, and you look pretty fucking credible to me.
Ditto.
Bah!
Ditto.
And I have never known you to lie.
Never.
Former Mayor Cecil Smith was ambivalent towards the creature and the movie, only noting that the scenery was beautiful and that he used to hunt coon in the area of the sightings.
Was he one of the credible sources? He
Probably
sounds like
not.
it.
Probably not.
Oh, really? I believe him.
I'm,
Out there when I was hunting them coons out back there
but he's not.
with my shotgun my granddaddy gave me. That's
He's
been our
doing
family.
that. I will not confirm nor deny. Confirm, please.
I'm not gonna say it was Sasquatch, but I'm not gonna say it
I'm
was
just saying,
Sasquatch.
It was very unlikely to be a coon.
And I seen a lot of coons because I go coon hunting every time when the coon season opens. I go out there and I cut them coons all the time.
That's why I had so many coonskin hats.
Exactly.
Call me Davy Crockett.
I sell them, and I could not make a coon's cat
Speaking of which,
from this guy.
you've been to Disney a million times.
Million.
Do they still even have those Davy Crocker hats?
I don't know. I didn't see him when I was there.
Crocker, like Betty Crocker. When we were kids and we all got Davy Crockett hats. It's the fur hat with the tail.
I don't normally doubt anything you say, but I fucking 100% don't doubt that. Like, not even a little bit.
We all had one, and I fucking loved that shit.
Again, of course you did.
That was this little pale white kid in Florida.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Y'all, I'm leaving right now. Podcast is over. I'm done. I can't be friends with her anymore. A faux coonskin cap.
I think there's a picture of me somewhere. I'm going to have to find it.
Good. Do. I already, like, the rest of the podcast, I'm just envisioning the coonskin cap on your head with the tail hanging right here. Rest of the show. Carry on.
Business in front, coon in the back. All right.
I hate her, y'all.
So now that we've talked about Bachelor number 1, here's Bachelor number 2.
Cryptid number 2 stands 9 feet tall, has large leathery bat-like wings, and possesses telekinetic powers. It lends its name to a microbrewed IPA that is apparently quite tasty. Awoken from the eruption of Mount St. Helens, it is the Bat Squatch.
Now,
yes,
if we recall back in the days, by days I mean February of this year, we talked about Sheep Squatch and the Rougarou. I always felt like I'm gonna fuck that up. Sorry, Louisiana. I did want to talk about Bat Squatch, but there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to say, which means he could be the strong silent type. I don't know.
Well, I did marry a strong silent type, so okay. I'm already digging Bachelor
Listen
number
at you
2. Giving
him compliments. Strong silent type.
I can't call him a weak ass bitch all the time. Only at home when we're fighting. I'm just kidding. I do not speak to my husband that way, I promise. Ask him. Go ahead. See what he says.
He'll only twitch just a little bit.
Blinch.
This may come as a shocker, but Bat Squatch is a portmanteau of the words bat and Sasquatch.
What?
I know. It is reported to have yellow eyes, dark blue fur, razor sharp teeth, and a canine muzzle. Sounded like me till we got to the canine muzzle. Not gonna lie.
All I heard you say was he has a good dental plan.
What is it? Etna? Come on now. Sing now. Who you got? It is also crazy swole. With a huge muscle-bound body and wings that span upwards of 50 feet. And he never skips leg day.
But is he going to look down on me when I eat my chicken and french fries?
I mean, everybody looks down on you. You're tiny.
But you know those guys...
They look up to that badassery, though.
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
That's called she's a mentor.
Thank you. Always building me up, Jen. Thank you.
That means she gonna school your ass. Word. That's on God.
For real, fam. Did you see that thing I posted on Facebook? Yeah, because I tagged you in it with the adult and the teenager transition. I was like, God damn, it sounds like I'm on a podcast with Jennifer.
Yes.
No cap.
My favorite thing lately at work is like, oh my God, did we catch a vibe? And I work with all these kids that are like,
they mean it when they say it.
They're like their early 20s. You know, they're really hip, very young, very smart. And I'm sure they enjoy the shit out of 35-year-old Jen going, did we catch a vibe?
Probably not.
They say I'm funny, but I'm also their supervisor.
So
is it a hostage situation? I don't know. I'm here for it, though.
I'll ask them to dig their own grave. I'll get back to y'all next week.
I'll let you know if it was a success. To be followed, okay? I'll let you know. The Bat Squatch's telekinetic powers are very akin to the Mothman.
Oh, you all know I have a soft spot for the Mothman if you listen to our previous episode over him.
Like a Fontenelle?
Exactly.
It can erupt and it can control electronic signals and radio frequencies. But where did it come from?
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Where did it come from?
We got a babe.
The Mount St. Helens eruption of 1980 released an equal force to 1,600 times the energy released by the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima? Fuck. Sorry, guys. I feel horrible on the inside anytime I'm messing up something. Like, people think I'm not going to people will think that I don't care about pronouncing names correctly. My family's really inbred, and I grew up in the South, okay?
Notice the confused look on my face because I don't care that much. I do the best I can, and if that's not good enough for you, I don't need you in my life.
I need to have that more often. Yeah, you know me, my complexes. I need to drop that one and get on that level.
Exactly, girl. You
These
do
are
the
life
best
lessons.
you can, and you are the brains behind this operation. And if they don't appreciate it, there's other podcasts. But I'm just kidding. Please don't go.
Oh, I thought you were firing him.
No. I don't know how to even turn that PC on, so I need him to stay here. I'll quit first. Don't think we can get JJ in here to back it up. He didn't even know how to restart his computer the other day.
He won't turn it off and on again.
Fucking guy.
Fucking guy.
He makes me rub my forehead sometimes.
This was followed by earthquakes that shook the surrounding region for nearly 2 months. Another thing of dyslexia is that I thought I wrote nearly 2 goddamn months. And I was like, goddamn is nowhere in this sentence. Oh, your brain's just throwing that in there. Cool, great.
Sounds right.
Sounds on brand.
Does. Own it.
This disaster allegedly awoke the Basquatch from his slumber like a goddamn Godzilla movie. The very first sightings of Basquatch occurred following the eruption. Within the blast zone, researchers, rescuers, and curious onlookers had a sneaking suspicion that something large was roaming the area. In fact, for a few years post-eruption, it was considered very foolish to explore the area at night. I feel like having that it just erupted
was warning enough.
I mean,
Who am I?
Just a girl
Doing a podcast
with her best friend.
That's it.
It's definitely, though, because of Batsquatch. Definitely not because there were still after effects of that eruption, though. Nothing big in the area. It's Batsquatch. The first high-profile sighting occurred in April 1994. A man named Brian Canfield was driving through Pierce County in the vicinity of Mount Rainier when the truck he was driving mysteriously stalled out, and I would panic if that happened to me. If I was like driving, probably in the country, sounds like. I'm by seat up in the Pacific Northwest, already out of my zone. I don't know. Never been there before.
Beautiful, you should.
I will. We'll go together.
Do not threaten me with a good time.
We're going to go find Basquatch. That's it.
Let's do it.
Life mission.
Bye. I'm taking off a week.
But like, could you imagine like your car just stopping in the middle of nowhere? Probably ain't got no good signal. We're near mountains and shit.
I've lived it, so.
And I'm not about
it's before
that life.
cell phones.
Well, I mean, I've been
forgot.
there, but like being in a strange environment, I just think, it just sounds terrifying. I guess in my brain, I'm thinking about one time I was driving to a wedding out in the middle of nowhere, Edisto Island, South Carolina. And the sun had already set, and it's like all these different marsh areas that you drive through. So there's a little fog at night, and everything is old as fuck. It's Charleston. I mean, that was a port for a long time. So there's things from the 17 and 1800s, right? Fucking spooky as shit at night, though, son. And I just remember driving along being like, Lord, I know I'm going to have to break down at some point in my life.
Let it not be today.
Can we not have it on this road?
You should be terrified because I get the vibes from you that if you broke down on a remote stretch of land out somewhere in the country and Willie Picton came out and offered you to come back to his house for some ham soup, you would go back and you would eat it.
Listen, have you had ham soup lately? Ham soup's the tits. good lima, little ham hock.
Yeah.
Like,
only to find out later that
And
it
his
wasn't
name's
really
Willie
ham.
Willie, but you know that motherfucker probably could throw it down in the kitchen. He probably got bacon grease in there and everything.
Total side note, I'm sorry for digressing, guys, but did you hear that they're doing this research right now because a bunch of people that worked in the studio at one time where Michael J. Fox worked now have Parkinson's later as adults, and that it was not far from the Picton farm, and that they believe they may have gotten meat from there, and they all ate it, and there's a protein that's produced when you eat humans as to where you can, they believe later it can cause issues, and they're trying to see if there's some link that they got food from the Picton farm that later caused.
No.
Oh yeah, I heard it the other day.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
America's to know that Michael J. Fox is another victim.
Of Willie Picton.
He's America's sweetheart.
I know. Look it up. It's fun to read. I doubt
Probably not fun to experience.
I doubt there's really any scientific evidence to prove that eating one of the women that he killed and grinded up caused your Parkinson's, but maybe. It's science.
You know what?
Anything's possible.
Go for it. Gives you a flair.
Right?
You want to know why I'm so shaky? Human meat.
Another reason to add why I don't eat humans.
Don't do it. Calm down, Jeffrey Dahmer. So there are different versions of what happened next. So we will discuss one of these versions. What do you do when you have car trouble? Yes, hit stuff. You curse, you get out and pop the hood. As he was examining the engine bay, he's startled by the sound of something hitting the top of his car. It hit with enough force and was heavy enough that the suspension started to buckle.
What?
What do you do in this situation?
You shit your pants
First,
and start praying to whatever entity you believe in.
or you be like Jen and you pop your head out and be like, what's that noise? What is that, you guys? Like a curious meerkat ready to be murdered. On the roof of his car, with his claws digging into the chassis, stood the Bat Squatch, who was pumping his muscly chest and itching for a fight like a total jabroni.
What do you guys think Jennifer would do if she popped her head out and she seen Bat Squatch on her car? I'm going to tell you what I think she would do. I think she'd be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She'd put the visor down. She'd put on some lipstick, fix her hair, and get out and be like, hey.
So, what's it like being a vampire? Look, I've got the complexion for it. Already have all black clothing.
Immortality, here for it.
Oh, I'm going to outlive all these bitches. You know those games like, would you do it if this happened, but you had to do this? Would you be cool with getting so much money, more money than you could ever spend in your lifetime, but it's because you had to be married to Elon Musk?
Oof. Oof, I don't know.
Is more money than God worth it?
Well, I could probably buy all the drugs and alcohol I wanted to make it bearable. So, but then I couldn't enjoy life because I'd be so high and stoned all the time. So
I'm not gonna lie here, though. Does that not sound enjoyable?
All the money?
Stoned all the time. Now, like, you'd have to go some real hardcore shit. So
He'd get on my fucking nerves too much.
listen, I ain't never met him, and he already on my nerve.
Exactly.
The one nerve I have left.
That is all I have. And I try to reserve that to tolerate JJ. Just kidding, baby. I love you so much.
Hanging on by a thread. So, what does homie do? Like Becky says, he shagged ass. And the Bat Squatch leapt forward and a chase allegedly ensued. And that sounds so fucking Scooby-Dooby-Doo. If I don't know what. I'm just imagining fucking Scooby-Doo and the gang running, and here's the Bat Squatch. I'm like, there had to have been an episode.
You painted a beautiful picture because, yeah.
Jinx. What? Jinkies. Zoinks. Anyways, I digress. I keep taking us off track. You're not even doing it. I'm doing it. I'm telling the story.
I don't know. I led us down the Willie Picton Avenue, so I did there.
It was a good avenue to explore, though.
Thank you, Jennifer.
What do we know about Jennifer in dark alleys? She's going to go down them.
Loves them.
Mm-hmm. So when Ken Veld arrived back in town, the back of his shirt was torn up and he was visibly distressed. Onlookers came to the conclusion that he was merely having one of them nights. That sounds like men in the 1950s. Like, you know how these women are.
Oh, when they used to say they were
in month.
Menstrual psychosis. Like, bitch, no.
I'm called, you know why? Mental breakdown. What does mental start with? Men.
Ooh, thank you.
Just laying it down. I may just be a girl doing a podcast with her best friend.
That's it.
But I got wisdom behind me sometimes. Not when it comes to dark alleys, though.
No.
Canfield supposedly returned to the site of the attack with his mother and neighbor in order to find physical evidence. And of course, none was found. You couldn't pay me enough. If I actually saw something like that, if my heart, I'd probably already be dead. Let's start off there. Because, bitch, ain't running. I ain't digging my own grave. What part? I'm going to do cardio? The hell I am.
First of all, she's lying. If she knew Bat Squash was there, she'd go look.
I know. I would look, but I wouldn't run.
Oh, I would run.
I'd be right here.
Take me.
Take me now. Make me a vampire. Is this going to be like Interview with a Vampire? Is Brad Pitt coming? Leave Tom Cruise out, though. He's weird. Makes me feel weird.
He does.
He's so slimy.
Yes.
Scientology. It's a cult.
He's like, if I saw him staring at me, I'd be like, what are you thinking about doing to my carcass later?
He's a lizard people. A local reporter interviewed Canfield and he was convinced he was being truthful and ended up publishing an 800-word article based on the interview. There were other possible miscellaneous sightings in the years that followed. In 2009, within the vicinity of Mount Shasta in California, who named that? I've always loved the name of that mountain, Mount Shasta. Like Shasta Cola. Several hikers allegedly saw a huge creature fly out from the crevice in the mountain. An eyewitness described the creature as having a head similar to a pterodactyl with a wingspan of about 50 feet. However, after consideration, he redacted and said his claim was actually more akin to a flying fox bat.
What?
So, like, it sounds to me like every man in a fishing tale. Like, that motherfucker was 12 feet long, knowing good and goddamn well it was a minnow. A 5-foot wingspan versus 50. But who's counting?
Biggest thing you'll ever see. But it's not.
But once again, you know, Godzilla, Power Rangers type shit. Explosions. June 2011, a man was walking his dog in his yard. And when he went to pick up the dog, he saw something huge flying in the sky. Was it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a bat squatch? It was described as having bat wings, blue fur, piercing eyes, and approximately 9 feet tall. On April 14th, 2014, at a school in Akron, Ohio, an entire second period Spanish class witnessed a large black mass flying by the window at incredible speed. If that was Hogwarts, though, nobody would have been like...
Wouldn't have batted an eye.
That's why Hogwarts is superior. Once again, claimed to be 9 feet tall and a huge wingspan. Could these have been sightings of the Bat Squatch? It's not entirely known, but Swole Boy definitely gets around if that's the case. Now that we've heard about Bachelor number 2, let's talk about Bachelor number 3.
Cryptid number 3 stands almost 8 feet tall, emits a terrible scream, and is sometimes seen taking leisurely strolls across mountain roads. He has a fear of light and has drawn the attention of a local frozen foods manager / Bigfoot investigator. From the Adirondacks of New York, it is the Whitehall Monster.
Jimmy, you getting gray hairs down the side of your head?
Oh, he been had. Oh,
I had just noticed them for the first time. Turning into a silver fox, I see.
Right? It's also receding, so it's not that hot. I'm just kidding, you guys. Am I?
She's not.
So, the small town of Whitehall in upstate New York is home to its own Bigfoot variant. It is a large ape-like creature with dark fur, which weighs about 400 pounds and has almost no neck. Sounds like my ex-sister-in-law. Anyways.
Burn.
Want some aloe? Oh, it also sounds like Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh.
Like if he was out in the wild.
Uh-huh.
But we all know he ain't 8 feet tall. Descriptions of this cryptid draw much inspiration from stories told by the Abenaki people of the Algonquin tribe. Their tales feature a being known as the Kiwak. Kiwak.
Like him.
I'm here for it. It stands over 8 feet tall, is covered in fur, has glowing red eyes, and possesses a scream which is so piercing that it stops the heart of its victims. So how do
My
they
niece
know?
says that.
It's true. It's true. So it also wears a skull necklace made from its victims. So he's also a little metal.
And he probably has a cabinet like yours at home.
Cabinet of curiosities, one would say.
I already know which bachelor Jennifer's liking.
I'm here for it. Falling in love. Sorry, Jimmy. I said what I said. It is said to initially began life as a human until a dark spirit overtook him and turned his heart into ice. And that's what happened to me.
Same.
And the Wendigo.
Yes.
The most credible sightings against the Whitehall monster occurred in August of 1976. Police officer Brian Goslin spotted a giant creature walking on a bare road on the outskirts of Whitehall.
Did you say Brian Gosling or Ryan Gosling?
Brian.
Oh,
I know. So close.
bummer.
In the following days, some of his fellow officers and relatives also reported seeing something unexplainable in the area. Giant footprints were discovered on the edge of the river and in the vicinity of its supposed appearance. Brian Goslin wrote a book in 2018, A Bare Road, The True Story, which details his accounts and his experience. I have to read this now. I'm in love. In 1982, another officer, Dan Gordon, allegedly saw a sighting of a similar looking creature. What are the police officers in Whitehall, New York smoking?
We know they're out at night fighting crime. They see all kinds of things, Jennifer.
I'm just saying, like, they out at night and seeing a lot of weird shit.
I work in a hospital. I can vouch. I work night shift. You see a lot of weird shit. Okay.
But have you seen any of these?
I've seen some people that look like it.
I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. The most recent sighting of Whitehall monster occurred on August 7th, 2018. A motorist who chose to remain anonymous was driving at night along Route 4 near the Vermont border. He's probably there for that maple syrup. No clue.
Sounds legit.
Right? It sounded like I was almost a tour guide for Vermont.
I haven't known you to steer me wrong when it comes to, why people want to be at places and good tourist attractions. So
he came upon a large creature who was climbing over a guardrail on the side of the road. He said that the headlights of his vehicle passed between the creature's legs. It was approximately 6 feet tall and had a broad black body. He reported the findings to a man named Paul Bartholomew. He was a frozen foods manager for Price Chopper, who has been a long-time Bigfoot investigator. Sorry, if I see some mysterious ass shit, I'm not going to call Paul Bartholomew unless I'm desperate.
The manager of the stocking at the
Price Chopper
goods
the
at
frozen
the Kroger.
foods manager. His business.
And tell him that I saw a tall, undressed, muscular black man in the middle of the road.
Leaning over a guardrail. His business card literally says, investigator,
Stop
researcher
right now. I can't.
of unexplained phenomena.
Did he also call himself a cryptologist like I want to be? I'm making business cards and putting it on it today.
Yeah, he actually co-authored a book on Bigfoot called Bigfoot Encounters in New York and New England.
Okay, first of all, anybody can write a book. Stop hyping him so much. Just kidding. He gets all the hype he wants.
Does he though?
Sure.
Probably from his mom.
Oh, yeah, because he still lives in her basement 100%.
Who's my baby boy? The following day,
I got business cards.
I'm a right boy. The following day, both Paul and the motorist returned to the scene and discovered a footprint approximately 12 inches long and 5 inches wide. Which, I mean, that could be anything.
Probably a bear's, as everybody always calls them.
Fucking ruining the party. It's equivalent to a size 14 shoe. A Bigfoot for sure, but Bigfoot...
So you're telling me he's a tall man, muscular build, and wears a size 14?
Super hairy. That was the best. Go and brush your shoulder out. A cast of the footprint was taken, but due to the location, it was built up dirt on pavement. There was just not a lot of detail. And according to Paul, the sighting followed a predictable pattern, since most of the sightings of the creature occur throughout the months of August, September, and October. Okay, but I love the fall too.
That's when you're going to see me out the most as well.
Could you imagine how beautiful Vermont is in August, September, and October?
Thank you. Try to catch me.
They're just trying to get their pumpkin spice lattes.
Thank you.
Of course, Bigfoot's going to come. Who isn't going to be out in the fall?
Try to catch me between the months of April and August in Texas. It's a rare sighting, too.
The hell you will, right? That I'm in my cave. Thank you.
Thank you. Come again.
This is believed to be the time frame that the Whitehall monster migrates. For being such a Bigfoot expert, though, Paul has admittedly never actually seen the creature, only arriving at the scenes after the fact to gather evidence. So is he Bigfoot? I don't know. Well, let's head on to our final bachelor. One that's very near and dear to us.
Cryptid number 4 stands at an average 6 feet tall, has a violent temperament, and has an odor that makes you reach for the nearest bottle of cologne. It inspired a Gatorland social distancing initiative during the time of COVID. From the swamplands of Florida, it's the skunk ape.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Florida representing
Duval!
A native of the swamp, and I'm not talking about myself. The skunk ape stands between 5 and 7 feet tall, has very mottled auburn hair. It has a more athletic build compared to most of the other variants of Bigfoot. And infamously,
There we go.
My brain was just like, nope, that's not it. Try again? Maybe, no. One more time.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. It possesses a terrible odor, and that gives the term swamp ass a whole new meaning.
Oh, loving it, Jennifer. Loving it. Not a missed opportunity with you.
The early stories of the skunk ape come from the Miccosukee and Seminole culture. Known for being foul-smelling, physically powerful, and elusive, the tribes called this creature the Esti Kapkaki. Esti Kapkaki. Anyways, it roughly translates to furry tall man. So
I'm here for it.
Kapkaki. In 1942, a motorist in Suwannee County said that the creature matching these descriptions appeared suddenly out of the brush on an isolated road. The creature grabbed onto one of the running boards and hitched a ride for nearly half a mile before disappearing again. I hope it left him a good Uber review. Or what if it was like an ass, cash, or grass kind of situation?
And all he was offering was ass?
Swamp ass. The period of time between the 1940s and the 1970s allegedly contained many different skunk ape sightings. No coincidence, though, that the 60s is in that time frame as well. And I'm just saying the psychedelics were a thing.
And no deodorant, too.
Yes. From southern to northern Florida, with the majority of them happening in the Everglades. It became so frequent that in 1977, a bill was proposed to Florida state legislature.
There we go.
Oh, gosh.
You can do it. I'm proud of you.
I'm a little gin that could. That would grant protection to and make illegal the taking, possessing, harming, and molesting of anthropoids or humanoid animals.
Okay. Florida's wasting money on making a whole law about you can't hunt or capture Sasquatches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, carry on. Just making sure I understood all this correctly.
It's very odd because...
Do we get to pick our bachelor at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. The funny thing about Florida is for it to be known for like just like beaches and old people. That's like the old people's a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
There's all shot ton of them. Like Orlando down, all old people. Just a sea of white, hairy smell of death. You know what I mean?
Oh.
That's not the Everglades.
Grim Reaper's headquarters is down there.
But the rest of that shit is full ass rednecks.
Oh, yeah. People will have such a misconception of what Florida really is if they haven't lived there.
Oh, yeah. And then so...
It ain't Miami everywhere. Just Miami is Miami.
Just Miami. Oh, yeah.
It's like thinking all of Texas is Houston. Not true.
Not true. You would think... when I thought about Texas before we came out here, I thought it was literally like ghost towns and like the fucking...
Tumbleweeds. And everybody was going to have cowboy boots and boots on. Same. I thought all the girls were going to look like Tammy Faye Baker.
Wow. That woman, her skin had to have killed her. All that to round back to here. Fucking Florida. Just can't. And Floridians love hunting. So to sit there and make, wasting tax dollars, one, two, you love killing shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going out to the river when we were kids, and my uncles would set off fireworks. Of course, they were illegal, okay? And the lights from the fireworks would light up the whole river area, and you could see people out there poaching alligators. Because alligators have a season, and you could do flashlights at night, which is illegal, and they go out there and catch them. That and bullfrogs. They bullfrog hunt at night.
Mm-hmm. Gigging. I've been gigging.
I bet you have, girl.
We would gig flounders, and then we'd come home and cook the flounder. The fish, the flounder.
I know, I don't eat fish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gross.
We would cook it. It was delicious.
It was... This girl does know her food, though. She's never steered me wrong on that.
That's the country me. We go out there, we gig us a flounder, come home, and cook them right there that night. A couple hours later.
There you go.
God, I'm hungry. Carry on.
Right.
I'm always hungry.
That's your secret.
I love food.
It was also during this time, 1974 to be exact, a man named Dave Shealy saw the skunk ape for the first time. He was 10 years old, and his brother and him were deer hunting. Again, they love hunting. In the swamp behind his house, which is now part of Big Cypress National Preserve, when he saw the skunk ape walking across the swamp about 100 yards away. Listen, I don't even know how much a yard is. I don't get how people are like, that's about approximately 100 yards. Bitch, I don't know what that is.
It's 10 steps past that big tree.
That looks like he's fuzzy, so it is out of my prescription.
That looks like the length of a walk it would take me to start sweating. So, not doing it.
Not doing it. I get you. I'm there. That's me. That's me. You feel me. The experience led to a lifelong obsession with the skunk ape, but we'll get back to that in a minute. In July 1997, a Kopi fire chief named Vince Doerr took a photograph with a large dark figure that was walking across the road. Within a matter of weeks following his photograph, over 50 people reported potential sightings within the Big Cypress National Preserve. The most famous photos of the skunk ape were captured in the year 2000. Okay, let's talk about technology for a second here in the year 2000. Lest we not forget what happened in 1999. I know you probably remember how everybody was panicking about Y2K and that AI was going to take over the world and all this shit and everything was going to crash. And what happened at midnight?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. That's how knowledgeable and advanced IT was in those days.
Yes.
So I'm not going to say that this was probably the best photo. It's 2000.
Yeah.
I mean,
cell phones weren't even a regular thing.
Grainy at best.
At best.
Probably had to fucking get that shit developed.
Yeah, 100%. Well, digital cameras might have been coming out then.
But they were like bougie, like expensive shits.
Yeah, because I was still using the camera and getting developed, and I was a junior in high school then.
Oh my God. Same. I remember going and getting rolls of film and like the disposable cameras because they were super cheap. You can buy 3 of them for like $10.
It was expensive to buy it, and then it was expensive to develop it.
And it would always be dumb shit because you can't proof that.
Well, and I was a dumb kid, so of course it was dumb shit.
Like half of a roll of nothing.
Yeah. And then I always paid to get duplicates, 2 pictures of, come on.
Because we might need to give one away.
Then you bought those bubble stickers and put on your pictures, the bubbles coming out of people's thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm old.
Again, if you don't know that reference, go home to your homes.
She's waiting for you.
She's waiting for you. An anonymous elderly woman who claimed to be the photographer mailed 2 photos, duplicates, into the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. She claimed that the creature had been stealing apples from her back porch and was initially afraid that it was an escaped orangutan. Now, this is true. In Florida, the creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed there. Florida was very big for filming back in like the 1920s and 1930s. But they did not, of course, do the same things these days. So they would bring a bunch of stuff for like Tarzan and they'd let the fucking monkeys go. And so there are a lot of wild monkeys in Florida that are not indigenous. So it's not honestly too odd to come across a spider monkey or a fucking iguana. All sorts of shit. It was worth noting that the physical description of an orangutan is very similar to the supposed skunk ape. Red hair, orange hair. These photos, called the Miaka skunk ape photos, were highly scrutinized, and they continue to remain a polarizing topic. Polarizing in that community, at least. This subject of the photo apparently heavily resembles a Bigfoot statue from a Ripley's museum. So Photoshop before Photoshop, maybe?
Ah.
Back to Dave Shealy. In July 1997, while acting as a wildlife tour bus operator, he reportedly saw that the wildlife bait stands containing lima beans had been raided. And in their vicinity were strange tracks. And he would go on to bait a couple locations with lima beans. He would have caught me because I love limas.
Oh, God, I love lima beans.
God damn. I'm so hungry.
Same.
And when you know, more skunk ape sightings in the area followed. He would also have some Jen and Becky signs. You know what I'm saying? In October 1998, Dave snapped 27 photographs.
Damn!
All right? roll. Of a 7-foot tall creature walking through the Everglades. Do you remember that song, Seminole Wind? By John Anderson?
Sing it for me.
Blow, roll, Seminole wind. Blow like you're never gonna blow again.
Yeah, I know that shit.
This is South Florida. In 5th grade, you got to learn an instrument. And our grade, we learned recorders. And
Same.
you want to know what our performance was? Seminole Wind by John Anderson.
I'm impressed. I don't even know why that's left off your resume.
Putting it on my LinkedIn. Don't worry. Over an 8-month period, he spent 2 hours every single night in a hand-built lookout.
Yes, he did.
Hoping to catch a glimpse of the creature he saw as a child.
First of all, that's not abnormal in Florida anyway to sit in a deer stand for hours every day. So I'm not looking for deer, so I'm not surprised someone did it looking for Sasquatch.
No, absolutely.
So anybody that's like, well, that's weird, it's really not for Florida.
No. You know what? Go to Palatka.
That's the most normal thing of the entire story.
Go to Hollywood, Florida. You're welcome. In July 2000, it's always damn July, ain't it? And of course, that smell. Ugh. He captured daytime videographic evidence of an encounter in the Everglades. In this very super grainy video, the creature is seen hundreds of feet away walking amongst the palm trees. A little over a minute and a half later, when it begins traversing the open swamp, it begins picking up speed with long strides. Dave noted during this time the swamp was approximately 1 foot deep and estimated the creature's running speed to be approximately 22 miles an hour, a speed that a human traversing such terrain would not be able to achieve.
And he estimated this speed based on
He must have had his
own scientific
LiDAR or his
findings.
radar gun.
Okay.
Like,
Was he like, when we got Jimmy his little dirt bike, it went 22 miles an hour. And that's not how fast that looks like that running over there.
honestly, it had to have been that.
Okay.
It had to have been that. Dave became notable for founding the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters.
I just have to say one more time, 22 miles an hour is a very precise number. Not like he looks like he's going about 20, 30 miles an hour, around number 22.
Specifically, not 23, not 21.
22.
Double deuces.
Sorry, carry on. That's why criminals get caught. The details in the story. You
Exactly.
got to be very open. You narrowed it down too much, Bob. Now I'm finding inconsistencies with your story.
So Dave became notable for founding the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters on his property, where he,
Of course he did.
well, what even better, he built himself as the
Stop!
Jane Goodall of skunk apes. He has written field guides, made television appearances, and continues to investigate sightings and occurrences to this day.
And when you say television appearances, do you mean like Blab TV? Do you know what Blab TV is?
No.
Where it's like back in the day when you had like cable that you like hooked up to your TV and you had like the local channel that people could like buy time slots on.
Oh, God, yes.
So when you say TV appearances, that's what I'm thinking. Where they have like the green screen in the background, but every time like they move too fast, it messes up whatever they have on it.
What was the
Like when you do a Zoom call and you put a fake background that you move too quick and it like
yeah.
temporarily shows your real background. Like those are the kind of TV appearances I imagine him on.
So I am a remote worker and we don't normally have people do that. They'll put the blur filter on, which is weird. But we had this guy in this last training class and he would put a different one all the time, like it'd be mountains or fucking palm trees and shit.
I'm
and
here for it.
I don't know, but I was like,
I'm matching his energy.
You are amazing. Then one day he came in, he didn't have one. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I was in a Zoom meeting the other day at work and I changed my background 3 times throughout the meeting. First I did the blur and then I did like a galaxy with like the Milky Way behind me.
Did you do this? Oh, man.
And then a little bit later I changed it to something else and I was like, I wonder if anybody is like, what the fuck is this girl doing?
Can't be as bad as
and if I work with any of you and you seen me, hey.
It was like the guy was the attorneys and they were meeting with a judge and it had a cat filter and he's like, I'm not a cat.
Anyways, that's what I should have done. I should have did the one on the like that Emma does on the show where I'm a hot dog. I wonder if they would have like paused the Zoom and made me stop, or they would have just carried on.
Listen,
there were like 80 other employees in this meeting too.
This is
FYI.
what I would imagine. If it was somebody like me and you, we'd be like, hold on. We got to take pause for a second here. Okay. Temperature check.
This girl is on fire.
This girl is on fire. But like, there's the majority is probably going to be like, just ignore it.
You're right.
But everybody in the meeting's obviously looking at one person.
I would be the person in the meeting that if somebody else was doing that, not me, because it's almost always going to be me. But if I saw somebody else, like you would slowly see my phone come up where I was Snapchatting it to send to everybody. And then you see my phone slowly go back down.
When I was training in this job, I did exactly that. There's this girl and she ended up not staying. She just didn't work out for the job. But she was just so fucking weird. I was like recording her. It's like, Jim, you got to hear this crazy girl.
My family, my immediate inner circle, we have a motto, and the motto is Snapchat or it didn't happen. So if you try to come at us with some crazy story and shit you've seen, we don't believe you unless you Snapchatted it to us.
Snap
all.
it. It's got to be snapped.
Yep.
Snaps or nothing. Snaps or it didn't happen. It's gonna be it's my policy now.
It is. It should be.
As of 2010, 42 out of the 67 counties of Florida have reported sightings. I wonder if there's a correlation between those counties and methamphetamines.
I would say that you are no detective, but I am giving you a certificate because, Jennifer, you just solved the case.
You're welcome, Florida. The prodigal daughter has returned.
I'm getting you a badge tomorrow.
Only Bigfoot's on it. The skunk ape is primarily sighted around Florida, but did you know it has appeared in other locations along the Gulf Coast? The most famous and also most recent high-profile instance was all the way on the outskirts of Tunica, Mississippi. A man named Josh Highcliffe uploaded a video on YouTube that was shot on his hunting property 9 miles west of Tunica. The video was filmed approximately 8 years ago, but has seen a massive resurgence of attention in recent months. While in the middle of hunting wild hogs, he was captured on camera while he was.
God, she makes you edit so much, Jimmy.
I do. While in the middle of hunting wild hog.
This bitch even changed her voice to try to be more professional, and still, she ginned it. I'm so proud of you.
While in the okay, so he was hunting hogs, captured on the camera.
Please don't edit this out. Fucking podcast gold right here.
Them hogs. What he initially thought to be a bear. Again, always a bear. He said his first instinct was to run away, and it did not cross his mind to shoot it in its direction. Afterwards, he realized that what he had captured may not have been entirely what it seemed.
Okay, first of all, I always advocate running.
Yeah.
But if I have a gun, there's no need to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why his initial reaction was to run when he had a weapon in his hand. But who am I?
Just a girl.
Doing a podcast.
With her best friend.
That's it.
Called the best Bigfoot footage ever recorded. I'll be the judge of that.
Thank you for matching my energy, because I was just going to say, I need a link to the video in the sources.
Yeah, like sauces, please. Thank you. I'll be the judge. It features...
If I Google best Bigfoot footage ever, is this what's going to come up?
Right. It featured what is believed to be a 7-foot-tall skunk ape digging inside a tree for snacks or something. I don't know.
He's getting grubs like Timon and Pumbaa.
He's groping. Well, it ain't Welch's snack walls or whatever.
It's not. Believers
and Bigfoot experts alike have claimed the video shows no signs of CGI or editing. So, okay, if you're a Bigfoot expert, I highly doubt you're a CGI expert as well.
I highly doubt that as well. I would put more money on you had your wife, who I'm sure cans and fruits and pickles and sews all your own clothes, make a outfit and put your friend in it. Yeah. Way before I would ever speculate that you CGI'd anything.
Exactly. Skeptic Joe Nickel, this asshole again, has written that some of the various sightings were likely an American black bear suffering from mange. And that other sightings were
either time for him. He's harsh in my vibe.
Very much. Other sightings were either hoaxes or a case of misidentification. I think homie just had a hard-on for black bears.
I think he did too.
Just like many other varieties, the United States National Park Service considers the skunk ape to be a hoax.
They're harsh in my vibe too.
Very much. But that's it. Those are the 4 bachelors.
All right. Go ahead, Jen. Tell me your thoughts and who you're picking.
So we've got the skunk ape, and we've got the Whitehall monster, and the bat squatch, and the folk monster. And I'm going to say, I'm going to have to go with the hometown hero here, a skunk ape.
You know what? Same.
Duval!
I've already forgotten number 1. He's forgettable. Number 2, you're supposedly ripped and at the gym every day, but you couldn't catch the old man hopping out of his truck and running off. All you did was get a few little scratches on his shirt.
Okay.
You're hyping yourself up too much, bro. I don't have time for you.
You jabroni.
Yeah. The third one, he's like way out there too much, like showing off his naked body to people.
I mean.
But our hometown hero, I'm here for him. He's just athletic. He's not too over the top with his muscles. You know, he's fine with eating whatever I cook, clearly.
Yeah.
He likes lima beans. He likes grubs.
He's definitely down for the limas.
Yeah.
I mean.
He, is a country boy, clearly.
Country boy can't survive,
And I think I could change him and get him to shower.
But if it's a black bear with mange, no thanks.
Well, I feel bad for him. So I'm at least get him a haircut.
Oh, man.
I think that me and a grizzly bear and a pair of clippers would go fine. There's fine.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go
Nothing.
wrong. Especially once I clicked on the and came at him. He'd probably sit right down like a docile cat.
Yeah. Oh, what? Thank you.
Thank you.
I've been waiting. All these bitches just taking pictures and shit. Where's the haircut? Somebody could have made a video like, I'm homeless, basically.
Yeah. He's just misunderstood. It's expensive to get a haircut today, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
Don't take pictures of people and make fun of them. Help them out. Get some clippers.
Get some clippers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, you guys, this is the season finale. We don't have a date to be determined for when we will return. TBD. But it will be somewhere between January and February because we are going to stack up a whole bunch of stories. We have some really good ones headed your way. Interviews, some missing person cases, some oldies and goodies, some historic ones, and a very special in-person episode. And by in-person, we're going to do some spooky shit, just like we did it with the
East State Penitentiary.
Yes, that's it. I always want to go like Penn State. It's Eastern State Penitentiary. And I was there.
In person, in the flesh.
In flesh, and I can't remember.
Spent the money on the tickets.
It was so scary, it made me forget.
I doubt it, because usually the scary memories you just save till you try to go to sleep at night and run them through your head so you can't sleep more.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I know I'm the same.
3:00 in the morning. Is that somebody at my window?
Do I then have irrational thoughts about driving and I go off a bridge and how will I save all of my children when I can't even swim myself? And could we hold on to the pillar under the bridge if we were all able to safely swim to it? Or would we just lose our grip and then slowly die there by it? Yeah.
Shower
those are
thoughts.
The kind of things
you know
I
what I'm saying?
have.
Shower thoughts.
When I tell JJ that, he's like, you really just lay there at night and think about those things? I was like, and you don't? Who's the real weirdo, JJ?
Exactly. I think about those things.
You just close your eyes and go to sleep? Weirdo.
I had a job and I was like, okay, I believe in cross training because if I get hit by a bus, everybody needs to keep going on. Like, this don't stop because I die. And they're like, all right, Jen, where's this bus?
I don't know. It could be there.
And why is it gotta hit you? Well, first of all, I'm known for my jaywalking. And I'm a rebel without a cause. I ain't look at that shit. You look for me. Pedestrians have the right of way.
Because weird things happen. And the mixture of my childhood trauma, my lack of memories from incidents like falling off my bike and being unconscious on the side of the road for an undetermined amount of time have led to a little bit of crossing of the wires in my brain. It don't work right.
Maybe it works just right.
And everybody else's is broken.
Facts. Just lay it on you like that. Well, you guys, don't forget to subscribe and rate us on our platforms. Follow us on our social media. If there are any stories you want to hear, this is the time we will be writing. So definitely reach out. Give us some ideas. Something you want to hear about. If you have somebody that you know that might be a serial killer, or if you... I probably should have started out with the missing persons one because it doesn't sound serial.
If you know anyone who's a serial killer,
it's like, it sounds like a joke, but we are quite sincere.
HMU, if you know anyone that's a serial killer, HMU, hit me up.
If you know, you know.
I'm young and fresh. Get on my level.
Get
on my level. Get on my level.
That's no cap. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
That's fire. Don't forget to check out our merch. It is the season to be jolly.
And giving.
So give us some money.
Thanks, fam.
Hello to girls. And until next time,
stay safe.
Keep your head on a swivel.
And don't bring it too close to home unless you're bringing it to mine and Jennifer's to tell us about the serial killer you know, and we can solve some crimes.
Also, if you have Bigfoot prints, bring those to my house too. I need it.
Please.
I don't have Bigfoot anything besides my Christmas ornament.
If homie drops his necklace of skulls, package it up. Send it to Jen.
Oh
She's
my
got a
God.
whole cabinet. It will go in there perfectly.
I will
it's like
wear
the
it.
missing touch.
Just that would be the
Yes.
pièce de résistance.
So legit, send it to Jen. I'm telling y'all. She would own it, wear it, sport it, pictures. You got it.
Creepy life.
For life.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode of Too Close to Home, don't forget to rate and subscribe to us on most platforms. Follow us on our social media at Too Close Home Pod on Facebook, at Too Close Podcast on Instagram, or if you have your own Too Close to Home experience, shoot us your story at tooclosetohome@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening.